This is the Nitecore NU25. It's a $40 headlamp from Nitecore that is actually extremely versatile and very small and compact. This light is not really designed for any specific task, but it does a really good job at being a broad-range multifunction light. It features 3 different LEDs that are all used in different ways to provide you different features, and it's actually really clever how the UI combines all 3 of those LEDs together to give you one easy-to-use light that can accomplish many tasks. Now, Nitecore sent me this light in hopes to do a review, and when I first read about it, I was a bit underwhelmed. I thought having 2 white lights was redundant, I didn't understand the use of the red light at first, and I obviously wasn't very happy about the integrated battery. Now that I've actually had some time to use the light, I found out that all of these features have had a very specific purpose and have ended up being extremely useful and making this hands down one of my favorite headlights that I've ever used. If you're looking for a bright, long-lasting light, definitely go with a bright angle 18650 light. The Nitecore HC30 is one of many options. But if you're looking for a multi-purpose light that maybe you're something you're going to stash in a camping bag or just have in your car, or just something you want to keep in your pockets whenever you might just need it, this is definitely the better way to go. Now, the reason this light ended up being my favorite is because of how clever the UI was and how useful these extra 2 auxiliary lights ended up being. Let's go ahead and take a look at the UI. The UI is extremely simple. 1 click for on, and you get the low power, another click to go another step brighter, and 1 click to go 1 step brighter. Right here, we're at about 180 lumens. If you hold down the power button, the main power button, notice there are 2, you'll actually get into the turbo mode for 30 seconds of 360 lumens. 360 lumens is what this light tops out at. And if you're looking for sheer output, definitely look elsewhere. This is not a very bright light. 360 lumens is respectable and extremely useful, but it's not enough if you're trying to cover long distances, and the runtime of that 360 lumens is only 30 seconds, so you won't even get it for that long. If you're looking for a much brighter light, definitely you want to go with the 18650 lights. However, this is not designed to be the brightest thing there. This is designed to be a sort of light that you put on your head and forget it's there. It's such a small light that you don't really notice when it's on your head, and I've never had this experience with another light. It weighs pretty much nothing, and we'll get more into that in a little bit. Some other features of the UI: if you press the right button once, you start the red light, and if you press it again, you go to a brighter version of the red light, and you press it one more time, you go to a blinking version of the red light. Now, at any point in time, if you're in between modes, let's say you're in the middle power setting, and this light notices you're there for at least 3 seconds, any button press will turn off the light. So they finally got rid of that very annoying UI of holding down the light to turn it off. It's 1 click off, and that's a really nice feature. As for the LEDs, you actually have the main LED here, and it's actually this nice cool tint here, which some people prefer, but I've always been a fan of the warmer tints. That's actually where that second LED comes into play. There's several functions for it. So how you access it is you hold down the main power button on the left for a little bit, and I think it's about 2 seconds, and you'll notice the auxiliary white light will turn on. And right off the bat, you'll notice it's a much warmer light. It's very warm, it's extremely soft on the eyes, and it's very soft and diffused. Now, the other thing is that the LED is pushed super far forward, so in the camera here, when I actually hold it and turn it, you'll notice the light seems like it's at its brightest no matter which way I'm turning the headlight. Now, that's actually super useful for a headlight, and it's a feature I haven't personally seen before. Now, unlike the main light where it's a focused, smooth reflector beam with a hotspot right here that's nice and compact, not super compact, but still too tight for you to the point where when you're in a tent or something, you'll have to be turning your head around to get a nice hotspot where you're looking. The other light is a much more diffused beam, so you don't have to turn your head, and it has been by far the coolest feature about this light. I didn't think I'd use this light as much as I did, but the auxiliary light is probably the most common light I use on this flashlight. You don't have to turn your head when you're using the light, and that's an awesome feature. Now, the UI is really easy to use and switch through the modes, and I've never actually found a situation where I've been too confused to figure out what mode I was in or wish there was another way to access it. What I like about it is you always have 1 click to low, so you never have to worry about that. And from any mode, if you hold it down, you have an instant access to turbo. This is a really nice feature, and you don't really have to guess around. Awesome feature that they also did on this light is how they managed to do with their strobe and their other tactical sort of features. First thing they did is they ditched the strobe. Thank God. I hate it when I see small headlights like this that are clearly not meant to be for a tactical use having a strobe. I think it's an unnecessary feature, and it's really annoying to see on lights. Now, on the Nitecore HC30, the strobe was one of my biggest complaints. It was way too easy to access. If you accidentally double click trying to switch the 2 power settings, you'll go straight into a 1050 lumens strobe, and it's really annoying at night to blind yourself with that right away. On this light, They got rid of the strobe, but they kept the other emergency features. If you hold down the main power button for 3 seconds, you'll go through the auxiliary light. You'll go into the SOS. I think it's, yeah, this first one is SOS. You click it, you hold it down again, and you click it once, you go into an emergency beacon, which is a nice little feature. And again, an emergency. Having that 3-second hold down, I've never accidentally activated either of these. It's very simple to use. Now, if you hold down the right button for a couple seconds, you'll get a battery indicator. 3 red blinks of this little LED up here means that you're over 50%, 2 is around 20%, and 1 is under 10%, so it's time to charge up. Speaking of charging, you have your charge port at the bottom, and the USB integrated, I think, is only a couple hundred milliamps, nothing super big, but still to this day, since the first test where I actually did a runtime test, I didn't really have to recharge this battery for my just general use. So having a nice little charging area for that, or way to charge it while you're out and about, is really nice. Another cool feature about the charging that no one really covered is it's pass-through charging. So while it's charging, you could actually power the light from the charge port while the battery's charged on a separate circuit. And that's really useful for just kind of having the light on for long periods of time inside a tent or say something like that. Overall, I think it's just a really cool feature that they put on this light, and they didn't need to, but it's a nice feature that I like to see. So now really quickly, I'm just going to cover some of the uses I've had for this light in my personal life. Now, the coolest uses I personally found are actually for that red light and when it's on the strobe mode. This is actually a very useful light at night for biking. I put this on the back of my helmet, again, because a couple zip ties on the ends of the mount here, and you don't even notice it's on the back of your helmet. What I like about this is most small biking lights like this, they won't give you that ability to have a power check area. And I really just wish they did, because I'm always paranoid about running out of battery, even though I don't think I've ever actually run out of battery while using a light. But it's one of those things I never really shake, and I'm sure you guys feel that sort of feeling too. You always are assuming you're going to run out of battery, so having that peace of mind is kind of nice. But another use I had for that red mode is actually for my dogs. Whenever I bring them to the desert at night, it's really easy to lose track of them, especially on dry lake beds and stuff. So you want a very diffused, very easy to spot red blinking light. And again, I'll just put this around their collars. On the back of their collars, it's really easy to spot them out at a really good distance. They're easy to find, and really makes me feel better knowing that this is on there. And you could just sort of set it and forget it. You get a 13-hour runtime or a 30-hour runtime. Let me actually check really quick. Yeah, you get 13 hours of red light caution. So yeah, that's just another cool feature I found for this light. Personally, using the main light, hands down, this is the best for hiking on a trail. It's just a good spotting beam. But yeah, the versatility of this light is incredible. With that main beam covering all your major operations of the lights, doing anything for the just general purpose, that auxiliary white beam covering anything you may need for close quarters, something in the dark where you don't really want to damage your eyes and you still need a good amount of light and you don't want to have to turn your head. And then that red beam also doing a really good job at being an emergency option or a safety feature. Overall, I was actually really surprised with how much I like this light. I wasn't really going into it expecting to fall in love with it so much, but I've used this light as many times as I could just because it's such an easy light to use. Now, another feature I'm going to cover is while it's in your pocket, if you actually push down both buttons here, you go into a lockout mode, and it's indicated in a lockout by any time you press a button, they'll blink that one LED once. And while it's in that lockout mode, if I actually roll up the head strap here, you'll actually see another reason why I like this light so much. This is with the head strap, and it fits in this tiny, like in the palm of your hand for this small of an area. That'd be kind of cool if they had a way to actually secure it so it stays here, because if I just let go, it falls apart. But if you had a way to kind of like just put a rubber band around it or a hairband or whatever, it'll be a really useful light to just sort of throw in a backpack or throw in your pocket and not really worry about it. And I love that it has that lockout, so you don't have to worry about it activating and killing itself. And because it has that battery feature, you'll always have that peace of mind to know about what charge state it's at. Even though it's not as precise as having, say, a battery indicator giving you the exact voltage, it's more than a lot of lights offer. So yeah, that's pretty much it. There's not too much I have left to say about this light. It's an incredible light. I can't really speak well enough about it. I've actually ordered myself a second one of these just to give to one of my friends who needed it. It did a way better job than I thought it would, and it really comes down to just a lot of design and thought went into this light. Alright, so that's it today, guys. I'll be trying to cover a little bit more reviews a little bit soon. I have some time on my hands now, so I'll try to cover some chargers, which I've been wanting to do, but we'll see how it works out. Thank you so much for watching. Just just leave a question or comment in the description or in the comment area, and I'll get back to you guys as soon as I can. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys later.